Hello again everybody, it's Captain Firefox and we are back in another EVE 101. Now this is going to be a little bit more like a 102 if you will. It's going to be a little more advanced. Today we're looking at T2 production. And I'm going to take you from the first step to the last step, all the way from copying a blueprint to inventing the actual T2 blueprint to producing the blueprint in the end. So it's going to be a little technical. It's more industry based than it is PvP, PvE like the other ones have been. And it's very skill intensive, but hopefully by the end of this video you'll have learned something. So the first thing we've got to do is open up our inventory, which I can never seem to find. There we go. The first step is to get a blueprint of whatever you want. You got to decide what you want to make. You can look at the market, see what sells well. You can do all that. Me personally, I like to produce the things that I use in PvP. That way it doesn't hurt so bad every time I die, which I've been doing an awful lot of lately. So I basically have all the fittings here for the thorax that I showed in the first video. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to produce each and every one of these. So I have the blueprint original, which you can buy off the market. You can get them pretty much anywhere. They're basic. You research them up, they get better. All right. What you have to do, to use blueprint, you can also go into the industry tab over here. There's a lot of ways to get to this, but you need to get to this screen and you need to go to copying. Alright. Now, once you're in this screen, you need to have more than just one copy, because invention does not work 100% of the time. It doesn't work 50% of the time. It works randomly. There's a formula, you can look it up, you can get all into it, but basically you roll the dice and take a chance. I like to basically use half of what I produce and sell the other half to kind of make a little bit of a profit while doing it. I like to do 50 runs. That'll let me get a good chance, say if over half of these failed, I've still got 25 runs of the blueprint, and each one of those runs will allow me to build 10 of the actual items. So I could get away with, if everything goes well, I'll have 500, but that's not going to go well. I hope it doesn't go well because that's going to be really expensive to produce. But you do 50, if you get 10 of them, you're going to be in good shape because you just made 100 pieces. So 50 is what I do. Basically, that's all there is to it. You runs per copy 50, and you hit start. It'll go ahead and produce you a blueprint copy. And as you can see, this blueprint copy has 50 runs remaining on it. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this facility that I'm in does not have both copying and invention on it. So I have to move everything that I have here to another facility. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will check back in just a minute when I've moved everything to the correct facility. Alright, I went and got me a little faster ship to help with the move, but before I moved into the correct facility, I wanted to mention something that was new to me whenever I came back to the game this most recent time. It used to be whenever you made copies for invention, you needed to make a different copy every time. So you'd be doing a bunch of job runs instead of runs per copy. Now that's not the case. Now it matters how many runs per copy, not how many copies you have. And that was something I didn't know at the beginning, so I made like 10 or 20 runs of every blueprint. So I've got a gazillion blueprints sitting around somewhere. So that's just something, if you just came back to the game, it means something to you. If not, I probably just confused you. But just remember, you need runs per copy now is the number you need to increase, not the job runs. Just hope that helps clear up any confusion and not make it more muddled than it already was. Alright, well, we've made it to a system that actually has the invention functionality. And as you can see, like what I was just talking about, this used to be how you did invention. You made a bunch of different copies of your blueprint and then ran them. You don't have to do that anymore. So yeah, that explains all these. As you can see, I've done a few things already. I've got a couple of ships I can make, a couple of missiles I can use here, a couple more missiles. Didn't get any light missiles, and I think I've already moved all my strip miners. So the important thing for invention is not only these copies, but these freaking data cores. Okay, these things are not cheap at all. You can see right here, 219 million ISK. For this is a bunch of data cores, but it's a lot, and the sad thing is a lot of that is going to be wasted. So there's ways to mitigate the expense of buying these things. You can go to research agents, and I don't suppose we have one here, do we? No, that would have been too easy. But you can go to an R&D agent. You find them in the agent finder, Show you how to do this real quick. Filter options. Now, if you're watching this a couple months from now, this is probably gone and replaced with the agency or whatever. But for now, this is how you do it. You pick your faction you want to do it. Let's say Amari Empire, agent type, R&D, and you scroll through here and you find the ones that you can go to. And if you look at their character info, it'll tell you what kind of research they do. So like this one right here does laser physics. She will give you we give you, where are they? Surely I have some. Ah, here we go, data core laser physics. He'll give you those for sure. And probably one of the basic mechanical or electromagnetic, or sorry, excuse me, electronic, and maybe in a more shipbuilding one too. So usually they have 3 options to pick from. You go there, you click on a little box at the bottom and it tells you to start researching, and then depending on the level you have, it'll pick up this many research points a day. Then they just go up. Each crystal, data core, whatever, costs 100 research points. So right now I could get, what, 120? Or 12? I could get 12, because, you know, math. So I could pick up 12. I just picked these up the other day, so that's why I don't have a whole lot. So what to think about, and there's skills that you have to train up to be able to do this many and all that fun stuff. Like everything in EVE, everything takes a skill. Well, the question now is, how do you know which one of these data cores you need? We'll go back to this guy and just hit Show Info. Come over here to the Invention tab, scroll down to the bottom, and it'll tell you which ones you need and how many you need it, and that is per run. So I need 2 of these data cores per run. I've got 50 runs total, so that means I need 100 of these and 100 of these, and I'll be able to do the entire batch. So I've already bought all of those. Let's use the blueprint. Use it for invention, important. And over here you'll have your output. For now, this is the only output that's possible, so I don't have to select it. But if you're doing a ship or whatever, a lot of ships have multiple T2 variants, so you have to pick it over here. It's important. If you're trying to figure out why you can't hit start, this could very well be the reason right there. Alright, but I want to do more than just one job run. I want to do 50. So there you go. It'll take me 6 days, 18 hours and 55 minutes, and it'll cost me 8,479 ISK to do this. And I'm not going to get a lot of these. I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to get a lot of these. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. And just like that. Countdown time. Whoop, nope. Owned by me. There we go. That'll tell me when it's done. Tell me how many times it's doing. And whenever it's done, I'll hit deliver and it'll tell me how many failed and how many worked. So again, let's just sit here and do this. Use blueprints. 50 runs. Make sure it's what I want. Hit start. I'm going to sit here and set all these. Let me knock that out real quick, and then I will get back right with you. Alright, well that actually worked out pretty well. I kind of screwed up, but it worked out for the better. As you can see here, didn't finish the warp scramblers. That's because I didn't buy the freaking crystals for it. So I get to show you a little trick on how I kind of keep track of everything I need to buy. So you can see here, I open up my notepad, which I have down there, but usually you find it up here in the Neocom. It's usually in accessories, notepad, and it'll open it up for you. And I basically make a shopping list. These are things that I usually buy for the different inventions that I do, and I just drag and drop it from down here to over there. It makes it really easy whenever I get to Omar, Cheetah, wherever you do your buying from. All you got to do at that point is just right click. Well, it's the station. All you got to do then is view market details, buy them, and move on about my business. So for this one, I didn't get the electromagnetic physics or the graviton physics. So don't do that. Clear out all these. Don't want to duplicate what I just bought. Alright, so electromagnetic physics, the one I just deleted. Brilliant. And graviton physics. So I need to buy 100 of each of those. And while I'm here, we can go ahead and buy everything we need. Let's make the heavy assault missiles first. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these blueprints. Each one makes 10 runs. So I'll be able to produce, 10, so 50 of these total. And here's the input list you need. So, shopping list. And again, this is the same thing I did with the data cores, just these are the things that you need to build. As you see, drones, lasers, launchers, heat sinks, mining lasers. These are the things that you have to buy to build it. Now, you can save a lot of ISK by producing these things for yourself. For instance, RAM weapon tech. I've got a couple gazillion of those in the hangar, corp hangar over there to build with. Same thing with the T1 version of the item. You have to produce some of those. I've got a bunch of those laying over there. I also have a build list. It tells me what I need to build to do that. See, everything is list, spreadsheets in Eve. So I can make 50 of these. So I got 50 runs. So I need 50 weapons tech built. I need 50 heavy assault missile launchers. I need, to not close that, 150 quantum microprocessors. That's going to be on the shopping list. Quantum microprocessors. What did I say, 150? Double check that. 50, 50, yep, 150. More fight. 6. No, that's a big number. 300? Yeah, that sounds about right. 300 more fight. And 300 robotics. Now, robotics is another big expense that I produce myself. You produce it through PI, which I'll probably get along to making a video about at some point. So there you go. That's what I need to build. That's what I need to go buy, build, manufacture. I need to obtain all those things that I just put on the list. These three things right here. The hams. Make it stick out. And the weapons tech. Those are the things that I need to produce to be able to produce the Tech 2 blueprint. Hopefully I didn't just confuse you with that. So now that I've got my list all set, I know what I want to build, I've got to go make a trip to Amar to pick up what I need to buy, and then I will be back and show you how you build the final product. So, just want to cut in real quick. I'm still on my way to Amar to buy everything, but on the way I stopped by and I picked up the weapons tech parts that I needed, and I went ahead and picked up my robotics from my planetary interaction building nonsense. And I just wanted to show you that just by doing those two little things, I've saved myself 44 million ISK out of the production costs of these things. Now granted, we all know that this thing down here is very accurate, but it's just as an example of what you can do to minimize the cost, increase your profits, and take a little of the sting out of your wallet whenever you start producing these things, because it is a shock. Now, if you're in a big corp or whatever, I'm sure you have people who are, they do all this. You got someone who produces every little piece that you need. But for solo players and small corps and alliances, you need to do this stuff on your own, and this is a little bit of the stuff that can help you save a little bit of ISK, make it a lot less painful to get it started. Because as you can probably tell, this stuff takes a while, so you're taking a lot of ISK out of your wallet to produce this stuff before you're able to sell it and make some of that money back. So you're tying up a lot of your liquid capital to do this. So just by doing this, spending a little time on PI, it's frustrating as hell, but just saving that little bit of time saves you a lot of money. And that's the point of this rant. Get you back whenever I head back over there and we start producing this stuff. Okay, so I'm here in Amar, and I just want to show you just how quick this little system I have is for buying this crap. So just like that, I know how much I need to buy. Bam. Switch over to that. Buy 150 of them. Bought. And I don't even need to buy the robotics because I just picked them up. So just like that, lickety-split, like I've got everything I need. Alright, so as an example, and I guess I should make this a little more accurate here. Okay, so just for an example, this is what I would have had to buy if I bought everything. And granted, I produced these two things down here, which accounts for... Actually, I produced that too. So I only bought 14 million ISK worth of crap. Worst case scenario, you buy almost 43 million ISK worth of stuff. But when you come to sell those 50 that I'd produce with it, I'm going to make 80 million ISKs. Now, there is other things that go into it. Your production cost, how much it costs you to research it, how much it costs you to, the tax that comes out of the station, and of course the crystals, which are not cheap. And it's hard to get a real price on those because a lot of them are failed. And that's just kind of a loss whenever you fail an invention. I just wanted to show that there is profit to be made on this, and every little bit that you can build yourself increases your ISK. So instead of having like a 30 million profit, I've got almost a 70 million profit with this. So just something to think about. The more you can produce yourself, the more ISK you're going to make. And of course that doesn't account for the time value and all that kind of crap. But this can be very lucrative. Now, I'm going to head back over to my production area and we will get cracking on building these things. While I'm jumping back, I wanted to show you something that I didn't think to mention earlier. This little thingy over here. These decryptors you can add to increase the probability of your stuff working. You can see over this, your probability multiplier goes up by 50%, your max run modifier goes +3, all those things. You can read it for yourself. These things are not cheap. I don't use them basically because I'm cheap, but again, these are things you can find on your own by going and scanning them down and doing the whole exploration thing. That's usually how you find them with your decoders and all that kind of crap that I've never gotten into. But that's another way you can go out, do stuff you're on your own, and it doesn't come out of your wallet, it comes out of your time, which is important to some people it's not. To me, I'd much rather spend my time on something than my ISK. So if that's something that you're into, or if you got a buddy who's into, you can buy them on the cheap, go for it. But as you can see, they're not the cheapest thing in the world. That one's not expensive, but it probably doesn't do much. So, did I just get one? Bug. But I also wanted to bring to your attention, over here.
Warp drive active.
Did I just... Oh wow, you can see... Over here you see the success probability per run. And look at it change every time I click on something. So you can see... Huh. Neat. I might actually have to start using some of these. Oh wow, 80% probability modifier. Very nice. Yeah, that's something else you can spend ISK on to increase probability, your material efficiency, and your time efficiency. Also change, along with your total runs you can get per blueprint. That all changes based on these. Hey, look at that, the teacher's learning something today. That's funny. Okay, but this is what I wanted to bring your attention to right here, is the success probability per run. So, like I said, yeah, this isn't it's not like you have a 1 in 3 chance of this working. It doesn't seem to be that accurate. But, and one more thing I mentioned, one more thing I mentioned earlier I wanted to bring your attention is see how this blackbird can turn into a rook or a falcon. So there you have to choose your output. That's what I was talking about earlier. But I've almost arrived at my destination, so I promise I won't cut in again until I'm back and ready to produce this stuff. Maybe. Alright, I know I lied again. I'm not ready to produce this stuff, but I wanted to clarify something I just said. When I said that this outcome success isn't, like I'm not going to get 46% of these aren't going to be successful. I did 10 runs of this, and I got... Oops, wrong one. There we go. And I got 3 successful attempts out of 10. That's 30%, not 46.5%. This doesn't mean that you're going to get 46.5% of the time it's going to be an outcome. That means you have less than 50% chance of this working every time. I hope that makes sense. It's not 46% of the time it's going to work. It's each one has a 53.5% chance of failing. So don't expect to get 4 or 5 successes every time you run a batch of 10. That's just not going to happen. That's not how it works. I hope that makes sense. Either that or I just confused you even more than you just were. So I grabbed all my blueprints, got everything I need to move. Now I'm just going to move it to a high-sec security area so that if I get blown up, I don't lose all my schnit. And hopefully I won't get blown up right here on docking. All is good. Gonna move over there so that whenever everything is produced, I can use a little bit bigger cargo hold to move everything and not worry about getting shit.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Dock. Okay. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and produce this stuff right here. I love low sec. Love low sec. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What was I making? Heavy assault. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use the blueprint. As you can see, got everything I need. Can make 10 off of this blueprint. It'll take me a little under 8 hours to make, 65,000-ish to do it. Hit start, and voila! If I had more open spots, I could go ahead and produce all of this right here, but I don't, so. But as you can see, that's all you do over and over again. Oh, snap. Alright, as you can see, I've got all my hams cooking. Got all 5 of them doing. In 8 hours, I'll have 50 produced, and all will be well. And I was a little confused earlier because I forgot that manufacturing jobs are separate from in science jobs. So I can have 10 science jobs running and 10 manufacturing jobs running at the same time, which I'd completely forgot about. So that's where my confusion came in earlier. But I'm going to try to undock again and see if I can't run this stuff over to my other station where I can go ahead and invent the stuff. Or wait. Yeah. Let's see if I can undock again, if that freaking Tengu's still sitting out here. And he's, of course, still sitting here. If I was smart, I would have a... Nope. Let's see if he'll let me get away this time. Not. I got a little surprise for him.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
He wants to play games? We can play games. Well, finally, after much ado, I am out of low sec, and I got everything up and running. I got the warp scramblers going, which turns out I didn't actually need to leave the station I was in to do. Yeah, I have my moments. But everything is up and running. So today we have learned that you have to first make a copy of a blueprint original, make as many runs as you want to produce. After that copy is made, you then take the copy, get the data crystals for it, go and do an invention where you produce the T2 blueprint. From there you learn what you need to produce it with. You go and you buy the parts that you need to produce that you can't make, and make the ones that you can make, bring them back, put them in a refinery, or excuse me, a manufacturing area, and build them away. And when you're done, you go and sell them, or you go and use them depending on what you want to do. So that is a convoluted way of telling you exactly how to build T2 stuff. So I hope I haven't managed to confuse you too much with all of this. It's not complicated. It is, however, very, very time consuming. And like I said, skill intensive. You can see all the different skills you need, up to 5 to do this. Most of them are pretty simple. Science 5, Industry 5. Those are usually pretty quick things to train up. Mechanics, yeah, these are all, very few skill points. But these, they're expensive. So let's see how much these things cost. It's a $10 million ISK skill book. So the startup cost for doing this, the startup time and skill training for it is expensive and time consuming. But in the end, in my opinion, it's a great way to make ISK and to save you some ISK. So instead of having to buy everything for your ship, you can produce it all. It takes time, but it doesn't take ISK. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions about it, please do leave me a question or comment down in the comment section. I'll answer it as quick as I can. And if there's anything else you'd like to see done, another video that you'd like to see me do, please let me know and I'll get it out as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you really liked it, do hit subscribe. And do check out the rest of the channel for some great content. So that's it for me, Captain Firefox, signing out. Catch you all next time.